Original recipe. We're all together again, lads.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Yeah,
Hey,
History
excited
of
Alex,
to
herbs
here.
and spices.
Yes.
That
exci-
11.
excited to be back. It's been a
Mm-hmm.
while. It's been a week at least.
Alex, you experienced something for the first time when you went to the Leafs game
We're
on was it
starting with
against
that.
it was the Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
not last night's
the
Pittsburgh game, the other
No,
Pittsburgh
the
game.
week before. Yeah,
the losing
Boris
Pittsburgh
Salming
game.
the
being
whole
off.
game, the game that they lost.
The
Yes.
Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame game.
You,
Yeah, yeah,
tell
yeah.
tell the
I
listeners what you experienced for the first time.
so I cried for the first time at a sporting event. So I there's listen. I think there's one thing that will ever make me cry uh
And that
in
is Leafs
sports
game
ever.
sevens.
If the no, like out of joy, like
Out of
okay,
joy. Okay.
if the Leafs ever win the cup, I'll cry. I have my reasons for that, but if they win the cup, I'll 100%, no questions, I'll cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I cried when they had Boreas Salming out, when they brought him out with Sundin and Sittler. And honestly, what set me off wasn't even Salming, to be honest. It was Daryl Sittler, who, when they went Sundin, then pan to Sittler, and Sittler's crying. Like, if you've
Mhm.
seen the video, he's
Yeah.
crying. And then they went to Salming, and then at that point I was done. Like, I was crying. And yeah, no, it was one of those things where it was obviously super, super nice to be at, but at the same time extremely difficult to watch. And even the next night when they had the game against Vancouver, where it was, the ceremony was more so for Boreas Salming, I watched that at work. And again, like, I was crying at work, like, I won't lie, because like, it's just tough to watch. And I'm glad you brought it up, because there was like, I was thinking about it the last couple of days, and it was like, obviously I've harped on many of players currently on the Leafs, and I'm not the only one to do it.
Mhm.
But I think if there's something that I hope they take away, and these players know who they are. It's not like, I'm not talking about the fourth line guys. Like, you have to, like, look back at that video. Boreas Salming was honestly one of, if not the best defenseman to put on a Leafs jersey.
I think
I,
it's fair to say the best. Yeah.
yeah, like, I don't think, like, I can't off the top of my head think of another name. So we're not talking about someone like, it's important. He is okay. You know, we talk about Johnny Bower, and we say that's what being a Leaf is. Obviously, we talk a lot about Johnny Bower, and, like, respectfully so. I
Mhm.
think I think it's time, and I think people have done it. Like, I think it's more so my generation, or our generation, we're in the same generation, to add Boreas Salming to that list in terms of what it is, what it means to be a Leaf. And I hope those guys on the bench, watching that ceremony and seeing what's going on, took in what it means to be a Leaf, not off the ice, because yes, obviously off the ice too, but on the ice, what it means to,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying don't be an individual, but like, that's not the point I'm getting at. Like, I'm talking about what it means to play for the Leafs. And I think he very much embodies that, considering the situation he came from, being one of the if not the first Swede to play for the Leafs, enduring what he endured, especially during that time. It's just a fact. It's not made up. It's a fact. And still being the best defenseman to wear a Leafs jersey.
Mhm. Well said. Very well said. You know, it reminded me when I was watching it. First off, it was great to see the shots of Nylander. I don't think there was a guy on that team who was feeling it more than him. Um, you know, it reminded me of the Guy Lafleur stuff last year with the Canadians, and I think Nick Suzuki was obviously very vocal about sort of that, sort of what it meant to the team and what it meant to be a Canadian. I think you're seeing that with the Leafs right now and with Boris Salming. So, it's a moment that should change a player in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's a shame they lost the first game, but the main Salming game against the Canucks, at least they won it. And they did get revenge last night against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Mhm.
It was last night, right? My memory is not completely
Yeah,
shot.
yeah.
Okay,
The
Yeah,
return of Matt Murray.
good. Oh, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
first one is a Leaf.
yeah, he did against the
I'm
Penguins.
Pretty good.
Very. Don't forget the spicy ramen bet, Alex. I still have it on my phone.
Okay, I'm glad. I feel like we haven't. Do you have the screenshot or something? I feel like we haven't actually brought it up on the show.
I have it somewhere.
We talk
Okay,
about it
that's
enough
okay.
off the show that we assumed it was already on the show.
Well, long story short, he has to put up some ridiculous numbers.
Vesna worthy.
Like,
plus 922.
if he puts up those Vesna worthy numbers, the bet was I have to eat the double spicy ramen, which I've already done once before.
I mean, okay,
Guelph.
for the games he's played already, like yesterday was like a 9:30. So
That was the best game he's played as a Leaf, which is a
Mhm.
small sample size. Yes,
or
small
best
samples.
game since he was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, probably.
That's
Like,
not right. You're not wrong.
Again, like small sample size of like 3 games, but best game he's played as a Leaf.
Mhm.
Am I forgetting another game? Because I thought it was just Montreal and Pittsburgh he's played.
Does he?
I think so, yeah.
Again, once
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
He's played.
Once
he's a
again,
900
small-
save percentage.
once
Yeah,
again,
it's a small
small
sample.
sample size. Best game he's played as a
Yeah,
Leaf.
he needs to do something about his mustache and his facial hair.
We're still waiting
man.
on what is it if Matt Murray and Ilya Samsonov will return together on
will
the bench?
will
they-
they play their second game with either on the bench? 'Cause remember the first game of the season they were technically together, but that's
Yeah.
fun.
Like
It's
last year.
nearly December.
No, I am aware. No, this is not fun to watch. This is just heartbreaking to go through.
It's
But
not
great
even
game.
just the goal. Oh yeah, no. I mean, I didn't watch it obviously.
Oh, but congrats, John Tavares, 400 career goals.
And Jordy Ben for becoming the best defenseman of all time.
hmm
Yep.
What's his
Um,
nickname now? I saw that on Twitter.
No clue. I don't.
They were calling him
I
something. It was like a
don't- I don't
superhero.
know.
Glorious
thing.
Ben.
Hmm.
Because Salmon, get it? Never
Ah.
mind.
I will say I'm not like since we were on that goalie stuff. Watching Eric Shelgren play back-to-back games literally scared the crap out of me. I won't lie.
It was one bad like groin move away from. I don't know who's after Petrozelli.
Well, Joseph Wall's now back. He's
Oh,
practicing,
okay.
but like again, like he also hasn't played. He hasn't.
Mr.
I guess
Shut out the
played-
Islanders, didn't he? Last
Yeah,
year?
yeah,
Yes, he
but
did.
Michael Hutchinson also shut out the Islanders. You know what
That
I
is true.
mean? Like,
That was true.
I don't understand how that's a thing where like you throw your back up against the Islanders and it just works. Like I don't get it. It's a Leafs thing. It's the one thing I'll never understand. But yeah, last night's game against Pittsburgh, man, like, and let's give ourselves credit because we've been asking for it for about months now. Switching Marner and Nylander worked
Oh.
in the first period.
Reuniting Marner
yes.
and Tavares.
Yeah, literally first period. Tavares gets his 400th goal. Minutes later, Marner gets a goal. William Nylander got a goal last night.
Mhm.
Fantasy,
Adam,
let's go.
Adam,
Yeah.
you must be happy. I don't know who has Marner or Tavares because I did not draft a single Leaf.
Marner
Tavares.
belongs to Will Baldwin, and yes, Daniel has
Okay.
Tavares.
Okay,
It was
you guys must be happy.
pretty typical game. I'll say when it was 3-0, then quickly became 3-2. There was a bit of scare there for me, but Matt Murray after the second, solid. I actually really liked what he said. Yeah, because so what happened is it became 3-0 to start the second for the Leafs,
Uh-huh.
but 2 minutes later it became 3-2, and then from
Yeah, no,
there the Leafs kept it.
I will say though, I'll let Matt Murray off the hook on that on the second goal.
Rasmus Sandin.
I'll put all the blame on Rasmus
Yeah,
Sandin
so
on that one. That was
bad.
Someone needs to say something to Rasmus Sandin.
So-
Let's figure this
Someone
out.
say something to Alex Kerfoot too about making a pass in the slot. Like,
Oh my gosh, that was
I saw that. That was bad.
when you press the pass button by accident playing NHL.
It's brutal. And so you know what's funny? I saw this meme that was like glasses on and off, and it was like comparing Sandy to Dermott, which I thought was a little unfair, but it was like, he needs time outside the bottom six, and it's better partner. Like,
I have a funny story to tell you, by the way. I have a funny story. So I have a friend that we used to play NHL a lot together when I went to his house. And he used to do this thing where he'd give you the like a PlayStation 3 controller, right? And he wouldn't tell you that the pass button, like in NHL, like it's a bit like sunk in.
Oh God.
So when you're playing, you're on a breakaway or you're on like a 2-on-1, and then when you're trying to shoot it, he just passes the puck.
2-on-1 podcast.
Yes.
That's not a good friend, by the way.
Yeah, but it was a joke we had. But it reminded me of yesterday, Alex Kerfoot. He had the shot and he passed it.
He's a man. I don't know what's going on. I haven't been able to pay too much attention to the Robertson Kerfoot storyline, but I don't get why it's Kerfoot there.
We've talked about this before, but has Alex Kerfoot been in the top 6 enough?
Like,
you know how we always say, like,
in his tenure as a Leaf, more than enough.
Oh no, I mean, like, because we always have that idea that, like, you know, Alex Kerfoot, you know, he plays really, really well on the third line, but you know, sometimes when they move him up, there's a bit of like a amount of time that you're like, okay, there's an expiry date to this.
That's super interesting because I'm of the belief that when he plays second line center, he's actually much better than when he plays third line center. It's when he plays second line left wing, it's where it's up and down, up and down. And I think, you know what, I feel like if you put, for whatever reason, I didn't necessarily think putting Robertson, Tavares, and Nylander was gonna be great, but I wonder if you put Robertson, Tavares, Marner together, like, again, like, I wonder how that looks, because, like, again, I'm not calling Robertson a sniper, but he was a goal a game in the OHL. I understand. Listen, it's the OHL. It's a completely different ball game. Tavares, he plants his butt in front of the net, and you have Robertson open to shoot. Like, I wonder if pardon?
Robertson has a heavy shot.
Yeah, like, I wonder if now we give it a try to put Robertson with Tavares and Marner, but then it's like, where do you put Alex Kerfoot? And then whatever, like, that's not my problem. It's Sheldon Keefe's problem. Yeah, another team. But, like, listen, man, like, if there's sure you want to hand over a defenseman, like, I'll take a defenseman for Alex Kerfoot. No, for Alex. What's the?
I thought we already said the solution to everything is Connor Murphy.
I mean, no, we're not doing that. I got so into the mindset of Alex Kerfoot. I was gonna look up Shane Wright, because he hasn't played. So we'll get into that a little later. But then,
wait a second, why?
For some reason, I started putting in Kerfoot.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to double check the last time Shane Wright had played, and I was.
Oh, okay. No, like, I definitely think. Here's the thing: is, like, it's either Kerfoot or it's Robertson. Those are your two options who are going to play second line left wing. There's no Pierre Engvall. There's no Calle Yarncrook. There's no, like, you look at the bottom 6 and I'm like, no, like, please don't put them next to Tavares and Marner. That's going to do you no good. Like, so, it's Kerfoot or Robertson. So it's one of those two.
You mentioned, you know what? At least we know the name. We know who it is. What we don't know is who's the defenseman. You mentioned the defenseman because as of right now, Mac Hollowell and Pontus Holmberg got called up. And I think Holmberg's the forward, right?
I called it, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. TJ Brody is currently on IR with an oblique injury.
2 weeks.
Blah. Jordy Ben just has to look not awful until then. Fine. But the big one is Jake Muzzin is out indefinitely due to cervical spine surgery. He will be reevaluated in late February, but that's probably just to have concrete stuff to do with LTIR going into the deadline, I would imagine. I think we can all pretty much safe to say he won't play this year, or it won't be safe for him to play this year. You know what? I was thinking about, it feels like a lot of teams really need some D. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, Ottawa's another team. Like, I'm thinking the defensive market's going to be pretty populated.
Can I just say before we have that discussion, I'm going to say this, and it has nothing to do with LTIR. and I have genuine reasons for believing this.
Okay.
Let's not like Jake, please. For the sake of yourself, please don't come back. Like this is his third injury with having to do with his back or his neck. And this started against Columbus. If you 2 or 3 years ago, where he injures I guess he went awkwardly into the boards. I remember they had to take him out on a stretcher. I believe his injury against Montreal in Game 6 was back related, if I remember correctly. And now, and last year he did not seem healthy for most of the year. Like it just looked like he's either had a massive decline or he's just injured, or he was injured most of last year. Coming into this year, we're talking about him he's talking about having to nurse an injury. Dude, please. Like I mean this genuinely. Is it worth it? Someone has to ask these questions. Is it worth it for him to come back for his own sake, not for LTIR, not for cap space? I couldn't care less, man. Like this guy is one of the leaders of this team, and frankly, since he came here, has been one of, if not the best defenseman, and is one of the heart and souls of this team. I would love to have him back, but it's not worth it.
You think he has his cups from his LA days? He has his money.
Mm-hmm.
Man, go be with your family. I don't know if he's got like kids or anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, he has kids.
Man, be healthy, man.
I kind of agree with that.
Kind of.
I mean, one thing to add to that is also he got to play for his hometown team. That was something that was really big for him coming to Toronto. I really thought when they did get Jake Muzzin, he was one of those missing pieces the Leafs haven't had in a while. And just, they always say he was a warrior for them in the playoffs for the LA Kings. And you did get to see glimpses of that in Toronto. But yeah, I agree with the way the injuries have been, the way it's been, especially around the spine, and it's just not getting any better. You know, he did what he could, but if it's time to go, it's time to go. And we don't know for sure yet, but this year for sure, just take the time off.
Mm-hmm. So a bit cruel to go straight to talking about replacement, but it is the way the clock that is the NHL works. Okay, listen. Chris Johnson on Insider Trading said that the Sharks, their GM Mike Grier, has basically made it clear he's willing to listen on offers for Erik Karlsson.
Stop, dude. You and I both know that's not what this team needs.
I'm just saying, guys.
I'm back. Dude. You're okay. Let's start with all due respect. With all due respect to Jake Muzzin, we're putting taking one injury prone defenseman and replacing him with another. Please, like that's. I mean this with all due respect to both Jake Muzzin and Erik Karlsson, because I think they're both phenomenal defensemen. But I don't know if it makes sense to replace Jake Muzzin, who's injury prone, with Erik Karlsson, who's injury prone.
What's Muzzin's cap hit?
5.65.
Okay, so if you add $100,000 more onto a defenseman, that's Karlsson and half retained.
No, but I get it. I get it.
The Coyotes, that's down to 2.875.
So what's the package here? What's the package?
First off, what's the package? Also, can we get a right-handed defenseman who's a little more like defensive oriented?
Connor Murphy.
You know what Marty St. Louis says about great defense? It's making sure you have the puck. And Karlsson has the puck a lot.
All right.
Like, who do you like? Who do you literally like? So we're not Connor Murphy, or do you like Connor Murphy now, or who's the defenseman you're thinking of, or is it more than one? Because I think we're all still kind of like Justin Hall.
Can I be completely honest? Like, sure. This is gonna sound so ludicrous. It's more actually not.
Karlsson.
Pardon?
More than Erik Karlsson?
No, not more ludicrous than Erik Karlsson. Actually, I don't think it's as ludicrous as I think, because I've been clamoring that the Leafs need a defenseman like this since they lost Zach Bogosian. And I'm not saying go get Zach Bogosian because he won't come back here. Thanks, Doug Ford. But besides the point, why don't they go, Daniel, you'll love me for this. Why don't they go get Luke Shen?
Okay, I heard the SGB guys talk about
No,
this.
but
It's a very
why
good
no?
shout.
But why? Like, here's the thing. So let's say when they're all healthy, right? So you have Riley Hall, Lilligren, Sandin, Giordano, Ben, TJ Brody, right? Like, where's he going to play? He's going to play. Luke Shen might play with Morgan Riley, which sounds ludicrous.
He
As
plays
it
with
was
Jack
supposed to be
Hughes.
for the
Oh,
future back
He
then.
He plays with Quinn Hughes.
Quinn, yeah, sorry, I meant Quinn.
Yeah, because then your defense looks something like Riley Shen, Brody, Hall. If Hall's still around, but let's do what? Screw it. No, I'm done. Hall's not. I can't watch it anymore. Riley Shen, Brody, Liljegren, Giordano, Sandin. I think Sandin looked a lot better next to Giordano.
Okay, well let's do this. Okay, so Morgan Riley, okay, top pair. With him,
Yes.
in case Riley goes and does his skate, maybe turns over the puck, who knows? You want the guy get back there, guy who's gonna block his shots. One of the top 3 shot blockers in the league. We get David Savard on that
No,
top pair.
no.
Very
Okay.
good.
Well, so what is Montreal getting back?
No,
A pick, a first.
A first?
Jesus,
There's
no.
precedence.
No.
Do we want to
No.
get Curtis back on the show?
No, I'm not doing. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
So
He has
Riley
3 more
Savard.
years left at $3.5 million.
Then you have Brody with Justin Hall for the sake of it, or whatever,
Dude,
and then
no,
you rotate the rest of them. Yeah. But yeah, David Savard.
No, I don't care if Hall's still on the Leafs come the trade deadline. I don't want it.
So
I don't want him
Alex, you're
playing.
saying
I almost
think
said
I might
Josh
men-
Manson. Like no, he's in,
Oh, bro, I would love Josh Manson.
That's-
Honestly, I'm just gonna point out Josh Manson and Hampus Lindholm, who I called the Leafs to trade for last season.
Man,
Hampus
They've both been great.
Lindholm
Yeah.
might
Oh,
win
God.
the damn Norris this year.
What
Okay,
happened?
like, I'm so mad. I am mad. Okay,
You know,
let's get back to the conversation.
all right.
No, look at Nashville. What they're bad. Who are they going to choose? Ryan McDonough.
Matthias
He's a lefty,
Ekholm.
but still. Matthias.
We'll say
Jeremy Lozon.
Isn't he on No,
Ford-
never mind. Never mind. I got him confused with Philip Myers.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that the Preds have been bad, by the way.
Yeah, we have. We
Have-
said we didn't have the pizzazz or the magic of last year when I
Oh,
said
God,
the
yeah, we
return
did.
of Matt Duchene.
You know, honestly, before we started recording, I was thinking to myself, did we talk about Lindy Ruff? And I'm like, yeah, we did. It doesn't work.
we
It doesn't
talked
work.
about Sorry Lindy.
Mhm.
Yeah, we titled it. Yeah.
We titled
Yeah,
the
like that was the last episode.
like who's out of it to the point where they can trade a defenseman?
The
The
Vancouver
Ducks?
Canucks.
The Ducks.
But no, besides, yeah. How about the Ducks, who I saw today, don't have a regulation win? And I was like,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
they've only won in overtime.
that's hilarious. And I bet it was all Zach, not Zach, it's all Trevor Zegras doing so. Him and Troy
Probably.
Terry, and now they're just doing everything he can. Don't have a regulation win. And
All right. I mean,
the
who's
middle of
their only
November.
righties are okay. So Jamie Drysdale might be out for the season. So their only righties
Yeah.
like Kevin Shattenkirk.
Who
is
I saw
no.
get linked with the Leafs, and I'm like,
Nathan Bolt, no.
listen,
Nathan
John
Beaulieu.
Klingberg is he John Klingberg?
Jesus, where are the defensive D? Where have they gone? The
I know
Columbus,
that
do the Blue
No,
Jackets
Columbus
have
Blue
any
Jackets.
healthy defensemen available?
David Juracek.
Daniel, come on. Oh God, everyone's like, why does Andrew Peak have a 4-year deal? Oh, it's an extension.
Vladislav Gavrikov, but he's lefty.
Yeah, but I think they like him though. Jeff Petrie, because the
No, God,
no.
please.
Man, John
Don't hurt me
Marino
like that.
looks amazing, by the way. Yeah, I'm thinking who's available. I was in Ethan Bear still, but I still don't get why they didn't do that one. Yeah, maybe
wish I knew.
Luke is the move.
Like,
Unless it's
you-
Connor
you-
Murphy.
Pardon?
Unless it's Connor Murphy.
This is Connor Murphy. Like like
Troy
everyone's.
Stetcher!
Oh God! I
Yes,
forgot.
finally!
Troy Stetcher. Dude,
Justin Falk.
We've been talking about that guy for years.
But I mean, like
like-
St. Louis has been on an upswing though. So I don't
Sure,
know.
sure.
He plays in Arizona, Daniel.
No, he was talking.
Justin
Daniel
Falk?
was talking about Justin.
Oh,
Falk.
okay. Oh no, okay. I completely.
Well, who did you think
He
I
said
was talking about?
He said Troy.
Oh, Troy Stetcher.
Yeah.
See, like people are still clamoring about Jacob Chikrin, and at this point, I'm like, all right, like what's that gonna do? Like,
Can that just happen, please?
Yeah, like can
My
someone do it?
opinion
Like,
here,
can someone
I
do it?
think they're gonna hold on to him for too long, and then people are gonna realize that the injury is actually worse than we thought, and then they're not
So-
gonna get the value they wanted.
That is kind of happening right
That's
Yeah.
all. Yeah, it's just gonna get worse. Again, I don't think they need to go make this grandiose move on defense that I think we think they need to do. I think a very simple solution is to go get Luke Shen. Because again, how viable is Jordy Ben? Like how viable? Listen, how viable in terms of consistency and longevity is having Jordy Ben on the first pair
Yeah,
on
it's
the
not
right
gonna-
side? It's
no.
if Mark Giordano goes down, yo, Jordy Ben, what's going down? Like get on in. But I'd prefer him not to be
Get
on
on
the
in.
in the lineup.
I have a funny
You know what I
story
mean?
about Luke Shen.
Okay.
So when I was a kid and he got drafted, I don't know why I was so hyped up about him. I still am. But I remember I was about to buy his jersey, and I think a friend of mine was like, "Oh no, just wait until he gets the C." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'll wait for that one."
Good Lord.
And then the second thing is funny is I remember a few weeks ago when I found a really good, authentic Luke Shen jersey on eBay.
Dude, you should have
Yeah.
bought
And
it.
then-
Why'd you listen to it?
And then
You
Adam's
should've
like,
bought
Daniel,
it.
don't spend the $50. I'm like, but it's cheaper than like a blank authentic jersey.
But it's still Luke Shen.
My boy.
You should have bought it. Now when
Wasn't
he
he like fourth overall? That's probably why
He's
you were
fifth.
excited.
He was fifth.
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why you were excited. And then
I think these are like, I don't know why. When I was a kid, it's like the second coming of Adam Foote. I'm like, okay, that's something to get excited about.
and JVR was good.
Yeah,
was good.
sure, it was good.
Talking about Shen though, on the Canucks, they still have not fired Bruce Boudreau. Talk about something that needs to happen already. Like we know you're going to do it.
It's gonna happen. Unfortunately, I just don't. I'm just so mind boggled at what's going on in Vancouver right now. I won't lie. Like, you brought up the SDB before, which I assume means you listened to it, which I assume means you heard Adam's theory about Jim Rutherford, about how he's just like, okay, Francesco Aquilini, like, let's do it your way. I kind of believe that because nothing's changed. Like, it all goes back to what has actually changed. And the answer is nothing.
See, I was thinking about that, and I don't like how he gave a pass to Patrick Alvin because he's like, he reports to Rutherford. By that logic, that means everything Kent Hughes does has to go through Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, but I
don't
think
believe
that's
Patrick
I think
Alvin's ever gonna go and do a job where he has to direct. Like, I get it, but like it
the
is
relationship's different there, though, right? Like Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon, the relationship before that was minimal. The relationship between Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, they
the
were
ties
buddy.
in Pittsburgh,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like again, that's not. I don't excuse Patrick Alvin's part of this. Like he's part of the upper management. Like it's just it's brutal. It's tough to watch. I won't lie.
So here's the thing: regardless of who is telling them to go do this and go do that, Francesco Aquilini is not telling Jim Rutherford to go to the media and bash Bruce Boudreau without saying his name as
Sure.
much as he is. And that's what and I've said this every time we talk about the Canucks. I just don't like how they're disrespecting Bruce Boudreau. Like,
Yeah.
where I come at this from is just do it already. Save humiliating him further. The team is expecting it too at this point. Eventually they're gonna, I think it was the game against the Sens or something that they came out and won for Bruce, but it's just, we all know it's going to happen. Just put poor Bruce at his goddamn misery at this point. It's
But
just,
Jim can't
I don't
do
get
that.
why they're
What,
why they
because
don't
it's
want to spend more money or they just,
but again,
Why?
like it's not it's one particular person or one particular group of people.
Francesco.
It's Francesco Aquilini
Mhm.
and co. Like it's similar. So we went back to last year, or let's go back to last year for like the 100th time with the
I
Vancouver
don't want to, Alex.
Canucks.
The season was so scary. The half
No,
like 2 wins.
It's remember when Travis Green and Jim Benning were still in charge, and we
It was-
were
It was only
sitting
like a
here.
year ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
And we were sitting here week after week saying, why are they still here? Let's put them and put the players out of their misery. Yet it got to a point where I said, and you guys agreed with me, where it's like, can we start talking about the owner? Like, he's the one who really, at the end of the day, has the say whether Bruce Boudreau can be fired or not. When Mike Babcock got fired here, Kyle Dubas walked to Brendan Shanahan. Brendan Shanahan then walked to Larry Tannenbaum in Montreal. When Dom Ducharme got fired, Kent Hughes walked to Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon walked to Jeff Molson, and then it was done. Like, can we have like Francesco Aquilini put the man out of his misery?
So you just reminded me of something really funny. Do you see the picture? Apparently, there's one of Kent Hughes hanging out with Marty St. Louis the day before Ducharme got fired. Like they're hanging out, like watching
Really?
the kids play a tournament. It's like, oh, so that was gonna happen. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, Caulfield was in like the AHL last year. Remember?
Yeah.
How dumb that was. Oh god, I hate last year. I just at this point, it's just I still can't believe that Miller's contract starts next year. By the way, like that's hilarious to me. Like, remember how I was like, I just feel off about JT Miller in that contract. I didn't think this was going to happen. I did not think it was going to be this big a disaster already. But,
no.
He'll be an Islander somehow.
Maybe. You think so? No, but now the thing is, Adam said it. So if Lou hears this, they can't.
Yeah,
exactly.
But where would Bo Horvat go?
Isn't
he second in goals, right? Yeah.
He's been insane.
Yeah.
If I'm the Leafs, I'm all over that. Say Tavares for trade, throw him on the wing, and then put Tavares on the wing, Horvat down the middle because he's the face-off god, and boom. I would do that if I'm the Leafs. Go all in. Why not?
All right, Alex, what's the package?
Dude, that's not a bad idea. I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that as a possibility. I kind of like it.
Who cares? I don't care.
Imagine a second line of Tavares, Horvat, Marner. Oh, God.
Okay. Speaking of the Islanders, by the way,
let's go. Yeah.
Matt Barzal might be the first player to ever do point per game without scoring a goal.
That is unbelievable.
So, like, I have him on my fantasy team, but I always see he gets some points, and I'm like, okay, Matt, very good. Happy to see it. I did not realize that the man in 17 games has 0 goals, but 18 assists. So,
you know who has a goal, though?
Rasmus Asplund.
Jakub Zaboral, meaning he was the better pick.
Okay, Daniel, this is not gonna work.
That's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. I'm not letting the Bruins off the hook.
But it is kind of funny that Matt Barzal just got his big payday deal and hasn't scored a goal. Like, he's been good, but it's just funny he doesn't have a goal. Remember when Riley Sheehan didn't score a goal to like Detroit's last game in their old arena, and he scored 2?
Yeah.
Matt Barzal's never going to score in the regular season ever again. Watch, but then he's going to score like the cup winner or something dumb. Or the conference final goal that puts them past the Leafs or something stupid like that. It's going to happen.
God.
You just know it. So according to NHL.com, and I'm refreshing this just now to be sure, because I'm amazed by this. Apparently, Shane Wright's last game played was against the Penguins, November 5th. And if I can quickly get his game logs up here. In that game, he played less than 9 minutes. Before that, he had his famous 13:45 game, and then before that was the 6-minute game, the 9-minute game. So he's back to his normal ice time.
How many games has he played?
He has played a grand total of 7 games with a single assist, plus 4.
Plus 4. Yeah. Dude.
What are we doing here?
I feel bad.
They just sent him down.
Like, I'm still on board with, I don't think that makes sense to send him down. I'm going to go and pull up their lineup again. Like, I just don't understand. Yes, play him. Like, are you that good? Do you think does Dave Haxtell think they're that good that he doesn't have to? Unless, am I blind? Is Shane Wright like this bad? Like, is he, what am I missing? What am I missing here? Like, again, like, I'm looking that fourth line: Ryan Donato, Morgan Geesey, Carson Coleman.
Just
Really?
ease him in. Get him the put. This is sorry. I'm going to repeat myself again from a previous episode. Let him get in. Ease him in. You should have eased him in already. He gets his puck touches. He gets his reps in. He gets more comfortable. It's that God. I almost swore there because I'm still so mad at like what the Kraken are doing to my boy.
It seems like
Fellas, come on.
for me, Dave Haxtell already had an idea of what he wanted his lineup to be. And then it was just kind of like, okay, we'll bring this guy along. But now suddenly we don't know what to do or where we're putting him.
I just
Like, Adam, I think you said it a couple episodes ago. Does he have to play center? No.
not at first.
How many? Listen, Trevor Zegras did not start in the NHL playing center. Tim Stützle did not start in the NHL playing center. I'm sure there's a list more guys. I don't have them off the top of my head. But
Jonathan Drouin didn't play center coming into the NHL.
I still don't think he plays center. So I don't mean
How's
to
a
be
low
hard.
blow, Daniel.
Sorry.
He's out 4 to 6 weeks too.
I'm sorry.
I don't mean to be harsh. I don't think he's plays center now. But like, again, you can throw him on the wing. I understand. I just pulled up the standings. They're 8-5-3. They're third in the Metro, in the Pacific Metro. Sorry. Like Calgary and Edmonton are just behind them. I get Calgary's not off to a great start. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Like, play them. What are we doing?
Here's what worries me. I don't know how long Jonas Donskoy is out for, but if he gets in the lineup, let's say you play him on the third line, right? Just for the sake of my argument here, that moves Brandon Tanev down, and you know they love him, so that hurts his chances even more probably. Because then he either has to replace Morgan Geekie or Ryan Donato in Dave Haxtell's eyes, which clearly he's not a fan of already, based on the fact we are nearly in December and he has played Shane Wright's 7 games.
You know how ridiculous that sounds, though, right?
I know. This
Ryan Donato.
If this had happened, Shane Wright had been drafted by the Habs and this was happening, I think I'd be bald right now. I would be losing.
Okay. Ryan Donato. And I'm not trying to like diss Ryan Donato.
It's Ryan Donato.
Okay, Morgan Geekie, I might be able to understand. 8 points in 13 games. Cool. Awesome.
Not bad.
Ryan Donato in 13 games has a goal and 2 assists.
I just
Again, I ask, is he really taking a roster spot over Shane Wright right now? Oh, your 4th overall pick.
Oh no, we gotta look at Carson Kuhlman, guys. We gotta check out his numbers too.
Like,
Carson.
what on
just send him
earth?
down. Just like, that's my opinion. Just send him down. If they don't, and he's being a scratch, it's gonna be crazy if he doesn't play in the World Juniors.
Carson Kuhlman has 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist in 10 games. It feels like they're just waiting for the World Juniors, but it's like he's gonna get there and he's gonna be kind of rusty at the start, anyways, because he hasn't played.
And I'm sure he'll probably rip up the World Juniors and he'll come back and then sit on the bench. And again, that's going to do nothing.
Please, Seattle, don't ruin him. Please don't.
Dave, play him for God's sakes. Like, if Seattle goes down, like, let's say they're in 3rd in the division right now, but if they just crap the bed, he's got to be the first coach gone, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, who is a coach? I briefly thought about this at work tomorrow, because remember, yesterday.
Dallas Aikens.
Because
Dallas Aikens.
they're fine.
Dude, Dallas Aikens is fine. Like,
So
I mean, like, percentage-wise, they're the worst, like, defensive team.
it's Columbus. Columbus.
There's one coach I have in mind, but I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm done if we want to go to Alex's bet.
Who do you think?
You want us to guess or no?
No, you don't have to guess. I thought you were gonna say who you thought was gonna be the first coach fired.
Do we? Okay, so let's go to each division and take a guess here.
Oh, okay.
But before I had to go, Alex, is your coach in the Central or the Atlantic?
No, the Atlantic.
The Atlantic. Okay. Is it DJ Smith?
Yeah, I think it's DJ Smith.
Why?
Because 2 times now, Pierre Dorian has said DJ's our guy, and just based on previous, and history it might not exactly repeat itself, but
It rhymes.
it rhymes. Last
To be
time
fair-
Pierre Dorian said this, Guy Boucher got fired a mere week later.
To be fair, Eugene Melnick is dead.
Okay, that's a dark but true.
I know that's just the way you said that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's just if we look at the
I still
Metro,
don't see
like
that. Okay.
Brad Larson is like the Flyers and the Caps are both -7 for goal differential. Put stock into that if you really care about it. Jackets are -22. We talked about this before. I gotta think somebody's gonna. I know the Blue Jackets have injuries here, but like this bad.
Yeah,
Brad Larson's my guy at least in that division. And DJI, I'd say like let's be honest, the Sabres are coming down to earth. They lost 6 straight. Oh my! But they're not getting rid of Don. They like Don.
No.
Marty St. Louis fine. Derek Lalonde's fine. John Cooper is fine. Paul Maurice is doing a good enough job. Sheldon's
It's pretty
fine.
solid, yeah.
And obviously Jim Montgomery is a superstar right now. And then you go to the Stars themselves. Pete DeBoer is doing good. In Winnipeg.
Wait, did we do the Metro? Did I miss that?
Yeah, so I said Brad Larson. What do you guys say?
I'd say runner up to Brad Larson is Peter Laviolette.
Yes.
I'm just.
I was gonna say Mike Sullivan.
No, I don't know. I don't know if they fire Mike Sullivan. I think they're so in on this core, and I think he's a part of it.
Yo, by the way, the Devils 10 straight, by the way, I wanted to mention that.
Lindy Ruff's a genius.
Thank God I did not stay up to watch that Habs game because they got the ever-living crap kicked out of them.
5-1, right? Yeah.
5-1, yeah. First goal is a hat for Dodonov, though. We'll get to the Habs in a second here. Okay, I thought maybe you were in the West, you were going to talk about, I can't remember his name, Craig Berube, because the Blues they've won 3 straight, but they are at the bottom of that division.
And St. Louis will then name an interim coach and go on to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. And it will be Dom Ducharme. No.
If it's Dom Ducharme, I'm done. Like I'm over hockey.
The Pacific is Boudreaux. So
yeah, the Pacific's the
waiting.
easiest one. The Pacific's the easiest one.
So Berube. So we're saying Berube, Larson, maybe Laviolette, DJ Smith, and those are sort of the names there.
Yeah.
I think Boudreaux is still at the top, but it's a sort of Hackstall. Oh no, Hackstall somehow has a job. Do we still not know his contract details? By the way, what's going on there?
Dave Hackstall?
Yeah, what's going on there? Like, what's his contract? You know yet?
I'm gonna go look.
All right. Next.
Nope, we have no contract.
God damn it. So we're going to talk about Bob Nicholson talking to the Heritage Committee next episode, just because I haven't had the time to look into it. I've been busy, but we are going to talk about it. The Bruins, though, have announced that they're going to hire an independent. This is from Frank Saravelli. They've announced that they're going to hire an independent, or they have hired an independent firm to review their recent failed player vetting process in regards to signing Mitchell Miller. They pledged to make the results of the public. Make the results public to the public. Yeah. I just want to know why no one made the phone call. There's a lot there. Again, Mitchell Miller is still technically a Bruin, but there's a lot needs to happen there. A lot needs to happen there.
So obviously, they need to make the phone call. That was the obvious one. Unless I've completely glossed over it and have missed it. This new information, what was it?
Yeah, they claimed that they released Miller because of new information.
He lied? I don't know. What is it?
What information did you receive that is so brand new? Like everything was out there prior to the signing. It's not like the only thing we learned was Eustace King's statement, preceded by 2 of the organizations that I saw essentially say that's partially true, and then that's it. Unless I missed something, like this stuff, like the Isaiah Meyer Crothers statement. everything that he had put in there.
That was after the fact too.
That was
after.
that was after the fact, but was that new information?
No. We'll see. I think it needs to be pressed on there, but it looks like we're not done here with Mitchell Miller, which fair enough. Even though I really, really would like to know how much money he's getting, because he's going to get six figures at least from all of this, and it makes me mad.
Yeah, and there's multiple parties to blame. Like the longer this goes on, by the way, the more like less nice that whole press conference from Gary Bettman looks, because like it's just not true. Like you had listen, I'm not gonna ever pretend that Bill Daly did not tell Gary Bettman after that phone call. That would be malware. That would be
just for context, just because we haven't covered it on the show. Yeah. Since then, because at the time Daniel and I were like, "Oh, the Bruins are dumb." It has come out the Bruins did contact the league, but the way Gary Bettman was asked, and man, you got to be careful with this, is what Gary was asked if he was or the way Gary answered was like, "I was not specifically contacted, but Bill Daly turns out he was," which was like,
splitting hairs there.
Our goddamn weasel, you know that? Not Bill Daly's because he's bald, but you know, he's such a weasel. Like, all credit I was gonna give,
bro. Again, I'm done with credit. Like they knew this, like knowing what we know about how the NHL is run. Even like they knew, man. Like there's no way, it's impossible. If Bill Daly knew, there's 0% chance that there's 100% chance that Gary Bettman knew. It's not up for dispute.
To the Habs, Jonathan Drouin is out 4 to 6 weeks with an injury he has apparently been playing through since November 5th. What? Why? Okay. Why? Rem Pitlick has been called back up as a result of it. Man, there you go. Rem Pitlick. But what I want to talk about here is so Jeff Gordon was speaking to I can't remember his name. Oh my god. Tony Miner. No, what's his name? Oh my god. I can't. Every Habs fan is going to kill me for not remembering his name. Tony Miner. Oh my god, he used to work for TSN. Oh my god.
Pierre Maguire.
Oh my god.
Now I feel like I know.
This is an embarrassment.
No, I feel like.
Oh my god.
John Liu?
Not John Liu. No, he still works at TSN.
Oh, yes, what you're saying.
Oh my god, it's the most. Tony Ennis, Tony Marin. You know me. I can't speak. Everyone knows who I mean. Mariano. God damn it. Alex, you're part of Italian. Can you look it up and please pronounce it for me properly?
I don't know. Is that Marinella?
Yes.
Tony No, that definitely can't be.
It's like, it's so. Just look up TSN Tony M and it comes up. For the love of God, I wish I could speak properly. Why do I host a podcast with my friends?
Tony Marinero?
Thank you. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Is that him?
So, yes, it is. He's not with TSN anymore, but he has his own. That is how you say it. I just can't.
No, because his first few posts had nothing to do with hockey, so I had to figure it out. Sorry,
it is him. It is him. Trust me, he's a big name in Habs Twitter and all that. But anyway,
he's the name that we are looking for.
He used to work for TSN. We are literally looking for. Used to work
I didn't know if it was the right guy.
Now he has his own thing. Anyway, Jeff Gordon was on the show, not his TSN show again, not TSN anymore. Anyway, he was on the show and he was asked about Cole Caulfield, and he basically said, fans don't need to worry, Cole Caulfield will be here. Even though he basically confirmed they haven't started contract talks and they're waiting for a time it's not distracting with the player, which isn't a surprise. But let's just talk about this now. What does his contract look like?
Do you really want to have this conversation?
$7 million a year for 3 years.
Okay. What did Jason Robertson get?
What was it, 4 years, 7 point something? Hold on, I have the stars up here. No, I don't want to look at the stars, Matt Murray. It doesn't count. Why am I go away?
Who
Jason
are his
Robertson, 4 years, 7.75.
Who are his comparables?
Alex DeBrincat.
So
maybe he's waiting for DeBrincat to sign his extension. Because obviously Cole is an RFA. Well, because the question is if you go a shorter term deal, then you can look in Jason Robertson. Yeah. But would the Habs like to line him up with an 8-year deal like Suzuki? And then I imagine
Sure.
it goes in the $8 million range. I'm sure in
Okay,
a
so you're
perfect
looking
world
at
they want him like.
it. Sorry, continue.
I'm thinking in a perfect world they would probably like to have him around the same number as Suzuki, but adjust it
Mm.
with the cap, and the small increase it's had. But if he pops 40 this year, then I'm assuming it probably goes over the 8.
Other than PK Subban, who was another bridge deal the Habs have done? I'm just trying to think of.
Mark Bergevin did love them. I think Brendan Gallagher did a bridge. He does love his bridges. He did, except like Druin. Like Druin didn't get a bridge when they brought him in.
I had
Brendan
to double
Gallagher
check.
had,
Carey Price had a 2-year bridge.
what was that?
2 years, 2.75. But
Okay.
again, that's
That's a hill.
2010.
I
That's
was gonna say,
2010.
did Gallagher have a no? He had a 6-year deal that was 3.7. No, he did bridge Gallagher. Weird. Crap. I'm trying to think who they bridged, and I'm not great at this at contract history, to be honest with you, Daniel.
I'm just trying to think of like
If he
what's
was so,
I know
let's
different
look
management,
Like-
but
so Kent
just
Hughes
comparables.
has just obviously given. This is one that I've just remembered. Kirby Doc,
Yeah.
but he didn't have the sort of production that looks like Caulfield's going to have. And Kirby Doc has 4 years at $3.3 million. So I think you have to look at maybe what a guy like DeBrincat, but even DeBrincat's about to hit UFA, so it's a bit different. So maybe,
But DeBrincat had a bridge though, right?
Yeah, he already had
6.9 or something around there.
so maybe a short-term deal does look like Jason Robertson. I just don't
3 or
know.
4 years, $7 million.
And even if you do long-term, I don't know if there's an 8-year comparable, because even like
Well, I
first
have a
Sniper I
couple.
thought was
I
okay.
have
Go
a
ahead.
couple, but you're not gonna like them.
I don't
let
care
me
about the captain as long as he's a hat.
Like David Pasternak? No.
No, because David Pasternak was more of a bridge deal too, and he took a discount. Why can't I find the team? 1 second. I just want to double. Okay, you're not gonna like the names, but I think they're close enough comparables. You look at what Ottawa did with Kachuk and with Tim Stützle, like I get it, but or even Thomas Chabot, because remember Thomas Chabot went right from entry level to $8 million a year for 8 years.
Yeah.
Again, those are general ideas of what a longer term contract can look like. I think he could honestly ask for more than both Kachuk and Stützle asked for. I'm trying to think of other young guys who got long term deals. Off the top of my head,
I was trying to think of
William
goal
Nylander.
scorers no. I was trying to think of goal scorers that went long term, and I thought Tarasenko, but obviously his deal is very old now, and he was 8 years, 7.5, so
Yeah.
obviously it's more. So I think it's fair to say that short term Robertson, long term maybe it is a Kachuk type deal, but it seems to be it's going to be at least high 7s to 8. I think is pretty obvious to think of.
probably.
And
That's
I think if
probably
you're
where
the
it's at.
Habs, you obviously want it to be long term because but then we don't know if Caulfield's the type of guy that wants to bet on himself for a year or two and then break the bank later.
That is definitely a possibility. I honestly forgot he would have been up this year, to be honest, to begin with. But again, like we're looking way ahead down the line at this point. But let's say you sign him to 8 years. That puts him a year after Suzuki.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Mhm.
So let me just get up. So his agent, I believe, is Pat Brisson, which is always like, oh, God damn it. Because, Pat Brisson, he's got some good clients here. So I'm just trying to, I'm pretty sure he has, oh, God, Puckpedia, what are you doing to me here? Oh, God, I don't like this. We get contracts? No, just give me the
Do
players.
you want to list them off? You want me to list them off?
So I got them here. Okay, so these are Pat Brisson's clients. Tavares, big contract. Kane, Taves, Kopitar, Jones, Seth, Sid, Duchesne, Jack Hughes. So already that's a guy
that's another
who did
one.
8 times 8 for that deal. So that's a good one. He did Quentin Hughes, which is again 7.8 for a shorter term. So that's one. He has Jason Robertson and Elias Pettersson. And he just made his good friend Nathan McKinnon the highest paid player in the league too. So it's not. So it's funny that all sort of the players we were mentioning are sort of those guys. By the way, he also has Alex Turcotte, Matty Beniers, Owen Power, Trevor Zegras. Man, Pat got hooked up.
He's
pretty
doing
well.
well.
He's gotten the young guys. Oh, and Matthias Samuelsson too. Got him a big contract. So I'm thinking 8 times 8 is where we're going here.
Yeah.
And
Bro.
I'm gonna say 7.8.
he takes a discount.
Yes. I don't know.
Alright.
I'm just thinking of that number.
I would be okay with that, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. If it's below 8, mamma mia. But I don't.
On a short-term contract?
Just at all. At all. Short term, I would expect it to be less than 8, to be honest. But long term, I just yeah.
Yeah.
But the framework is there. It's just, man, Pat just went and got like all those like 2019 USA hockey guys.
Literally.
Collecting them like Infinity Stones.
God.
Oh wow. To finish off the show, the World Cup of Hockey has been pushed back to 2025. Listen, you guys know I didn't care. I hear World Cup of Hockey and I just go,
I had fun. Okay, I mean, like, okay, so general thing. I'm not like bummed out too much about this, but I admit it was fun in 2016. I had fun.
I went to games for the last.
Yeah,
World Cup.
same.
Like I went to game 2 when Canada won, right? Like I love watching that. It's not just the thing of and building up the World Cup of Hockey is just one thing, but the main point I'm getting at here is I should not be just sort of whatever the World Cup of Hockey is being pushed back, because what it really is because who knows how the Olympics are going to go. I mean, it just
they're not
feels
going to go.
there's no faith.
They're
We are again pushing back another year of not having best on best. I just want to see Crosby, McDavid, and McKinnon once before we go. Please, once. It's the most skilled trio Canada's ever had.
It is. I'm upset. Like I understand partially why they've pushed it.
Oh yeah, Russia.
Right. Like let's not
mention that.
let's not pretend like that's not the big issue here. What I think is upsetting that we've gone to this point without a World Cup. And again, like I understand why you guys feel like I don't really care about the World Cup, or like it's just because no offense, it was a gimmick. The way it was fun. I agree, but it was a gimmick. No, what World Cup in the World Cup histories outside of hockey had a team North America, had a team. Are you kidding me? Like team what Europe. Is this? No, there's not. This doesn't think like I feel like the NHL doesn't understand the importance of having international hockey, yet year after year they go overseas. Like, are you dense or you just not care? Like, which one is it? Like, let's figure this out. The World Cup's about to start, by the way. I don't even have to say what sport. You already know, right? The World Cup's about to start. You know how many people are you know how many people are about to watch the final when it happens?
More than the population of Canada.
Probably. Oh my God. Like a billion.
Yeah.
Like a billion people. And I'm not saying if the NHL, if hockey had a World Cup, that a billion people would watch it. I wish, but that's not gonna happen. Listen, there is an importance to having a World Cup if you want to grow the game outside of North America. Having this would definitely help.
And by the way, it's random, but congrats to the world, 8 billion on November 15th.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
I also wanted to mention on that, by the way, as I've just lost the thought as I was putting it out there. Crap. I've had a senior moment at age 23. Oh my God.
I know it's like the third time on the show today.
Say it again. Oh my God. What were you saying?
I was saying how the World Cup, I didn't
have
to say.
I got it. To quote Will Baldwin, Gary Bettman's done a great job of growing the NHL, not the sport of hockey. Okay.
Yeah, man, for sure. Thanks, like that's pretty much That's
Great
pretty
quote.
spot on. That's
That is
pretty
great.
spot. And like, while I love throwing blame at the NHL, I love doing that. We all know we do it every episode. The double IHF is also like culprits
Yeah.
here. Like, dude, like guys, like, whew, let's figure this out. Like they're inevitably they are going to be involved. Like if a World Cup happens, they need to be involved. Like you need players just not for like you need players outside of the NHL to be involved in this, not just the guys in the NHL. You need guys from all leagues to be involved. That's what makes it a World Cup. The World Cup that's about to start isn't just including players who play in Europe or who play in a specific group of countries. It includes players who play across the world.
It's constantly just feels like a wasted opportunity from the NHL.
Yeah.
Them and the PA for not sort of sticking their foot down with certain things. Like I can give you a pass on the COVID Olympics. Like I can give you a pass on that. It was the best. Like that's it. Everything before that, no. It's refused. Like we're probably never going to see Alex Ovechkin in the Olympics again, maybe, but Prime Ovi, no, it's done. Sid's on the way down, still incredible, still Sid, the greatest player that's ever played the game of hockey. But damn, just how do you not push the idea of having the shots of the anthems during games where they go behind the player, and you have a chance to have 87 and 97 next to each other? You don't want that. That's what bothers me. That is, Mike sent me a thing on Instagram. You probably got it too, Alex, of this report that Nets management is worried about Ben Simmons and his love for the game.
Oh,
I would rather a depth player who would die for the sport than a superstar who doesn't give a crap. I would never want anyone on my team who doesn't love the sport they play, and I hate anyone that runs a league that doesn't have the burning desire to love and grow the sport like its fans do. And that's what makes it so difficult to love the NHL, is they don't see not even just the business side of it, but just the sort of the love and the passion of the game in this scenario like that. I want 87 and 97 together, God damn it. I want it to happen. I want to see it once. And if they don't get a world, like if they don't go to the Olympics, if they don't get this World Cup of hockey, it's not going to happen because Sid will be gone. Which is just, it's awful to think we're going to lose Sid eventually, but it's not, you'll be gone sooner than you know it, guys. And it's just, like, just give your head, Gary, give your head a shake. What are you doing? It's just, I want 97 and I want 87 together. I want it.
And 29. No?
And 29.
No, we
I was 30. Well, was 32, but he's gone.
We forgot about 29, just like we did in our draft.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god!
And who will be the new Chris Kunitz?
Oh, Michael Bunting.
I was gonna say Hermo Zach Hyman, or because Brendan Gallagher's old now. And the Kachucks are American technically, so it's like, oh god, what do we do?
Zach Hyman's a good one. That's a good show.
Yeah, he is a good one.
What's a good show?
Bo Horvat, maybe? No,
but does he have a better chance of getting into the Hall of Fame?
I mean, Alex, you put the question out there. I didn't. Man, God help me if he gets to the Hall of Fame before a guy like Alex McGillney.
Zach Hyman?
Yeah. No, sorry. Mike. Chris Kunitz.
Oh.
I'm gonna stick with Brian Rust being the Chris Kunitz of the team.
That's still
stay on brand.
It just depends on how long until we can get to one. If he'll still be in the league. But yeah. Anything else before we end it here?
Yes, I have a pertinent question, and depending on how you answer this, you may or may not receive a text. If this person listens to the episode, is Henrik Lundqvist a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
No, Daniel, tell me how you really feel.
No, yeah, he is. Yes, why? I don't think anyone's listening or watching that this will make it controversial.
Listen, he was
an amazing goalie. Like, I don't think
he's the second best of his generation.
I don't know. Like, hey, what is his generation? He was drafted 2000, and then he played 2006.
He was at his best alongside guys like Rene and Carey Price.
I mean, like
Yeah.
Roder still got his Vesna 2007, so
No,
I-
he does.
he's-
Roder,
no, he's-
Roder doesn't count part of that
We don't
generation.
think. I don't think we associate. I think if you think of the best goalies Martin Brodeur is going against in his best days, no offense, I
Mhm.
think you compare him more to Patrick in that more than you
Mhm.
do.
And
but you know,
Dominic
because you know, like Patrick had Rob Blake and
No, I did. I wasn't asking
And
for
Ray
this.
Bork in his last season.
Listen, I'm just not asking for this part of the
Well,
conversation.
Adam
Brodeur
Foote.
Scott Steve, yeah. Adam Foote at the end of his career, by the way.
Sandis at the end of his career on Colorado.
Yeah, well, hold on a minute. But still, Adam Foote, Mister like career high, like 20 points. Oh, Henry, here's Martin Brodeur.
It's about the defensive game, not the points.
Hold on, you did your bit. Let me finish. Oh, here's Scott Stevens. This guy hasn't had the puck for 2 minutes, but he's going to give him a top level concussion now. Oh God, the guy doesn't remember when he
All
scored.
right, we have to get
later
back
in
on
the-
topic. Henrik
How dare
Lundqvist,
you?
first ballot Hall
Oh,
of
hey,
Famer.
Patrick Waugh won a goaltender of his best player being won a cup of his best player being Vinny Donfus. Stop it.
What?
Stop it. Vinny Donfus is a good player, but he's not like the greatest of all time.
Wait.
Stop
What
it.
about Vinny Dalfu? Sorry about the
He's a fine player. It wasn't like the ultimate
Leafs legend, Vinny Donfus. He was drafted by the Leafs.
I'm aware, but
Yeah.
he didn't win a cup there. I'm just saying, okay, but you know what I mean? Like Lundqvist I associate him more with the going up
Mhm.
against like
Yes.
Fleury and Price and that, and
Yeah.
and Lundqvist is the second best goalie of that generation.
We'll always remember him for the 2006 Olympics because he won the gold medal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? Was that
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely too the international stuff? Sure, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, okay, I just got an email. Okay, this is very important. Before
Someone's listening in.
no. I just need to know that okay, thank God I'm presenting on the 24th instead of the second. Thank God.
I thought this was a hockey related thing,
No, it's not.
but still as important.
Yeah, no, it's very important.
Yes.
I just hope that this doesn't mean I'm good. I'm looking at the order. This means I can get on with this class after November. Thank God.
Hmm.
I'm assuming based on this, we're going third, which I'm gonna have to beg to go first so I can get it done and never have to worry ever again in my life. Their email beside their names and the sign-up sheet. I've gotten a few. Okay, anyway.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Martin Brodeur.
All right. Be
Fun
sure to
goal.
check us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, especially.
Yeah.
And we will be back soon on Sunday, right? Yes? Maybe?
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, we will. Okay. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
this Sunday I'll be there. Next Sunday I won't. It's my mom's birthday. But no, that's
Happy
a
birthday.
Saturday. Sorry, Mom. Here's a Saturday. Love you.
Oh, no.
Oh crap. The Sunday though, yeah, no, the 27th I might not be able to be here, but you
Okay.
know. Actually, you know what? I might be gone for the podcast for a few episodes, to be honest with you. We got a lot
right.
going on.
All right.
Fair.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.